Hi guys, in this video here I'm actually going to try out wet sanding. There's a lot of stuff that I need done and sandblasting is so expensive. I've got 3 different sets of pressure washers here, different sizes. I've got a cheapo kit here, one a little bit more expensive here. I'm going to try it out with each different pressure washer and see which one works the best and which one is value for money and actually gets the job done, which is what we all want at the end. So I'm going to start hooking some of this stuff up and let's see how it works. So pressure washer wise, we've got a Karcher here that's rated at 1800 psi at around about 6 litres a minute. We've got a Gurney here which is basically rated at 2800 psi and about 10 litres a minute. And we've got a Blackjet here and that's rated at 48 psi and around about 12 litres per minute, so it's a good difference in size. That's one set of wet sanding kit. That's the other one, the cheap eBay one, and so forth, which, I mean, this hose looks like shit to begin with. But anyway, I'm going to hook these up and we're going to see which one works the best on what pressure washer. So guys, the sand I'm using is, you've got to use dry sand. This is classed as 16/30. The sand where I get it from, it's actually kiln dried, so it's actually dry sand, there is no moisture in it. I've just put it in a small container here, 20 litre container, stop the water from getting into it, because basically the trick with this stuff is the sand must be dry. If it's got any moisture in it, you won't get any suction coming out. So like I said, this is all kiln dried, there's no moisture in it at all. So I've set this up here, so I'm going to hook the pressure washer up and get started. So to start off with guys, I'm going to try out the Karcher. That's 1800 psi at 6 litres per minute. Got the one set up there, got my sand over there. So let's see how this goes. So just tried about 30 seconds on this part here, which basically it's really done nothing. I think what I'm going to do is change this hose because it seems to be kinking all the time. So I'm going to change the hose out to a different one and see how we go there. So guys, just changed the hose out, just got a piece of garden hose, it's a lot stiffer. That one there just tangles up on itself, so I've got that set up. We'll give it another go. So guys, it really isn't any better. I mean, you can feel the sand coming up through the hose and so forth, but to me it's not doing the job. That's with the small Karcher there. So what I'm going to do next is I'll hook up the next size up, the Gurney at 2800 psi, and see how that goes. So guys, just hooked up the next size, that's the Gurney, that's 2800 psi, so we'll give that a shot. So guys, with the Gurney running, that's pretty much this section here, and pretty much that's no better than that part there. So I'll change over and hook up to the Blackjet one, which is 48 psi. So okay guys, just hooked up the Blackjet, that's petrol, so I've tried to put it far away so noise doesn't drown anything out, but let's give that a go. So guys, this one here is with the 48 psi, and to be honest with you, it's not really good. So that's the one I was using, cheap one off eBay. Changed the hose out from that one there because, like, I mean, it kinks by itself when it's there. Sandy's dry, got good water pressure and all that, so it's got nothing to do with the sand or so forth being wet and not getting through. Basically I think it might just be the design of the nozzle. I've seen some other videos where they've got it working and so forth, but really slow. I mean, let's face it, the whole thing is to cut down time and get your job done. That's what we all want. So what I'm going to do is I'll hook up the other one, run it through all 3 pressure washers again, and see what we end up with. So guys, just hooked up the other one, so I've got that running there with that nozzle on it. It's still running with the Karcher, so let's give that a go. So guys, that's that section there. That took about under 20 seconds. That's running that one with the small Karcher at 1800 psi. So that was the previous one from the Karcher. That's this one. So next up I'll put the Gurney on at 2800 psi and try this section here. But that's a lot better already. So guys, just hooked it up to the Gurney there, so that's 2800 psi, and we'll see how that goes. So guys, with the Gurney, that's done, that section there, about 20 seconds. Compared to the 1800 psi, it still left it took the paint off, but it left the surface rust behind. Maybe if you worked at it more, it would come off. With the 2800 psi, it pretty much removed the paint and pretty much most of the surface rust. Now, like I said, that was only like 20 seconds, the same as that one. But with that nozzle there, it's working a lot better than the other one. So I'm going to hook up the 4800 and try that out and see what we get from that. So guys, just hooked it up to the 4800 psi. I'll get that started and we'll try the next section. So guys, the 4800, sorry I did up piece here but I forgot to turn the camera on, so I just done another one there. So that's with 4800 psi. I mean, that's worked brilliantly, you couldn't ask for anything more. To remove the paint, the surface rust, that's bare metal all the way there. So that was the Karcher at 1800 psi. That was the Gurney at 2800 psi, and that was the Blackjet at 4800 psi. So there you go guys, two different versions. This one here is about $35, this one here is about $120, plus it cost me $30 for shipping, so $150. You saw how they worked. This one here, the hose is shit, so the first thing you're going to have to do is replace the hose. I just got a bit of garden hose. It worked a little bit better. Out of all, basically between the 2800 psi and the 48, I would say to use this one here, you would need to be at least minimum 28. So I would be looking from 28 to 48 pressure washer psi. To get that to run. The biggest trick in all of this is keep your sand dry. If your sand's wet, regardless of how much pressure you got, it's not going to work. Anyway, so you can make up your own mind which ones you want to go to. For what I need it for, I'm restoring cars, so I've got to remove rust and paint and so forth. I just want it to work. The quicker the better, the easier the better. So basically, these are the two that I've got, if you want to look them up. There. So I bought them just like anybody else would. I know which one I'm going to use. I'll be using this one for what I need it for, because the cost of sandblasting at the moment is like through the roof. To do a old Holden Kingswood, just to get the chassis done, pretty much today you're probably looking anywhere between $550 to $750 in prices. And if you're restoring a car and so forth, you're going to be doing a lot of rust removal and paint removal. Being wet sanding, there's not as much heat in it, so you can even do, you know, panels and so forth if you take it easy. As for chassis, you know, they're like 6mm thick, you're not really going to deform that in any way, but if you're doing like a car door or so forth, I'd probably go slowly, do it in sections, don't keep it all in one spot. But like I said, make up your own mind. You saw them working. 3 different pressure washers, you've got 1800 psi, 2800 psi and 4800 psi. Anywhere between these two, if you use that set, you'd be good. If you use that one, you're just going to be wasting a lot of time and so forth. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, hope it was helpful. Keep an eye out for the next one. Cheers.